Oh, I felt another sputter. I think we might be it. Oh yes, it's sputtering. She's sputtering. Hey everyone, and welcome back. So today's plan is really quite simple. I woke up this morning thinking to myself that I was in desperate need of a really nice long ride on the Himalayan, something that'll take me through some of the mountains and open desert of northern Arizona. So as I was thinking about where I wanted to go, I came up with the idea to go visit a place called Horseshoe Bend. This is a famous meander bend on the Colorado River, north of the Grand Canyon and just south of the Utah border. I've been wanting to check this place out for quite some time because there's a vista lookout point that you can hike out to and look down onto the Colorado River and actually see the meander bend. And it's really quite a famous picture. So I definitely want to check this place out. But with that in mind, I also realized that going there is about 130 miles one way. So I realized that this would be a great opportunity to finally do a fuel range test on the Himalayan. So this should make for a really good field test, and even if I don't go fully empty by the time I get back, I could probably just tool around the neighborhood for a couple of miles and eventually run out. Now of course I'm still going to bring a lot of spare fuel with me because once you get north of Flagstaff it gets pretty desolate. There's not a whole lot of service stations. So I want to make sure that I have plenty of spare fuel to bring with me. But that's the plan. We're going to do a field test. We're going to reset the clock to 0 and head out and just see how far we can get before the bike runs out of gas. And cap it off with a pretty amazing lookout point. So let's get to it. So obviously the first thing I'm going to do is top up the bike as high as it'll go. Now I always use 91 octane gas in the Himalayan, so just keep that in mind for your own tests. Alright, so as far as spare fuel for this trip, I'm going to be going a little bit overboard and carry everything you see here, which is almost 2 gallons. Now the reason I'm going to be doing that is because first of all, I'm going to be way up in the northern desert, and if I run out of gas sooner than anticipated, I want to make sure I have enough reserve fuel to get me to the next gas station. But the second reason is I really just want to test out these different fuel carrying solutions that I talked about in that previous video. So I'm going to be carrying almost 1 gallon in this SRC tank, and I'm going to carry this in my rear pannier simply because I don't want to try and remount it right now. And then I'll be carrying this 1 liter MSR bottle in the rear tool tube, and then this 2 liter SW Motec canister in one of the front trail packs. So that's the plan. Let's get out on the road. Ooh, and one other thing, I finally got my Cardo Pack Talk Bold installed in my helmet, so this will be my first true field test of that unit. Let's get out there and get going. It's starting to get late. Alright guys, well we are driving through Flagstaff now, just trying to get north of town, and so far so good. It's a beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky, and I am just really stoked to spend a whole day in the saddle and drive through the deserts and along the mountains and really see some of the most scenic parts of Arizona. And of course, with the day culminating with probably one of the prettiest views in the entire state at Horseshoe Bend. So I think we're really in for a treat today. Somehow it seems apropos that we're getting stopped by not 1, but 2 trains at the same time. Okay, mileage check. We're at 20 miles and still a full tank of gas, so we got a ways to go. Hopefully we're not even 10% of the way through the fuel yet. The landscape already is in such stark contrast to what we went through. It's just vast openness. There's no trees, there's no junipers, no shrubs. It's just high desert grasslands. Alright guys, it's time for a fuel check. We're at 52.5 miles and the fuel gauge is now showing below full, but still above 3/4. So if that's to be believed, we've still got quite a bit of range left. Now I will note that I've been going pretty steady, about 68 to 70 miles per hour since starting on this road, so it probably means the bike's drinking a little bit more than it would if we were on some twisty back roads. There's another gas station, a Chevron, so we're really good here. This is good to know. You know, it's hard to say because some of these gas stations up here on Navajo land can be pretty old and, you know, still use those mechanical pumps and just unreliable and cash only. And it really does remind me so much of the Badlands. really cool. That'd be fun to climb. Alright, so let's do a quick mileage check here. We're at 72 miles and the fuel gauge is reading 3/4 of a tank. So if that's to be believed, then that would mean we're going to get about 288 miles on a full tank. So I don't know if I believe we'll get quite that much, but it's still a good benchmark to shoot for. Alright, taking a little pit stop here. Not a bad view. Alright, we're at 114 miles and our fuel gauge has dropped precipitously and is now just over a 1/4 tank. We've got about 18 miles to our destination. Wow, it's really, really beautiful up here. I'm so glad I decided to come up this way. Just never seen this before. I had no idea we cut through the mountain like this. This is wild. So cool. Wow. All right, guys, fuel check. We just flipped to the reserve fuel tank. We haven't even made it to Horseshoe Bend yet. We were at 123 miles when it flipped, and we're at 1 mile going in the opposite direction now. So very interesting. The fuel gauge dropped over the course of 5 miles. It dropped from like about 1/3 of a tank all the way down to where it is now. So again, it's that weird glitch with this fuel gauge. I'm just not quite sure why it does that, but it seems that every time that I'm going on a long trip, when I get over 100 miles, it just basically tanks the needle. So very interesting, and we'll have to see how we do on the return trip. But yeah, we're not even there yet. So we still have 6.8 miles to our destination. So it'll be very interesting to see how things play out. All right, we've made it, Horseshoe Bend. Let's go take a peek. Hello. All right, well, we made it. We're at 8.1 on the reserve. Let's go check this place out. You can see the Horseshoe Bend just right over there. All right, here we go. What? Wow.
And then put your left arm like over your leg. Yeah. And then like.
Okay, that was wild. I'm so glad I came up here to see that. Just no matter how many pictures you see of Horseshoe Bend, it just doesn't do it justice until you see it in person. Anyway, we are back on the road. We are 9 miles into our reserve tank, and our gas gauge is already starting to get into the red zone. So that is absolutely crazy. When you first start riding, the needle goes really slowly. I mean, at 50 miles, I was practically still at full. And then as soon as I got to about 80 miles, it just started plummeting. And I looked up at one point when I was at about 116 miles, and the needle was about 1/3 of a tank. And then 6 miles later, the fuel reserve came on. So it's just very, very strange. However, the sensors are calibrated, it's definitely off. So at any rate, we are on the route and headed back, and at some point, this is very strange for me to say, we are going to run out of gas. And I don't know how I feel about that. I'm trying to just kind of laugh about it and be silly about it, but it really screws with my anxiety, because just the thought of running out of gas way up here in the desert is still a little bit scary. Now, the farthest I've ever gone on my reserve tank is about 33 to 34 miles. And so once we get up into the 30s, it will be an uncharted territory for sure. Wow, what a cool view. Absolutely cool view. I mean, this is just an awesome place. I can't believe I haven't made the effort to come up here. It's just so freaking cool. Look at this view. Wow. Unreal. Oh my. Absolutely fantastic. What a beautiful place. Alright guys, we are in uncharted territory. We are 33.5 miles into our reserve tank. And my blood pressure is definitely rising. But anyway, yeah, 34 miles in now. This is getting exciting. What's gonna happen? Who knows? Oh man. I have no idea when it's gonna happen. And I'm looking down now and the needle is fully in the red now. And we are at 42 miles on reserve. So this is definitely getting real now. Wow, look at that needle. Hard empty. Woo. Oh man. And we still got 90 miles to Flagstaff. So that is not gonna get us 90 miles. Look at this, we are almost at 50 miles. 49 miles into the reserve. It's getting exciting now. We're driving past a gas station. Oh my god, this is absolutely destroying me. Every fiber in my being is saying to get gas right now, and I have to fight the urge. I feel like it's imminent. At any point now, I feel like it's gonna happen. We're 56 miles in. The needle is hard empty. I mean, we've got to be putting along on fumes. But I guess we'll find out. We're at 72 miles. 195 total miles. It's pretty good. Pretty good. And most of those miles were at 65 miles per hour or greater. We could have a mile left, we could have 30. It's really just so hard to say with the way this thing is calibrated. And we just hit 77, there it is. Boom! 200 miles. 200 miles and counting. Oh, I felt a little sputter there. Is this it? Oh, I felt another sputter. I think we might be it. Oh yes, it's sputtering. She's sputtering. This is it. I think we're running out, kids. 82 miles. Oh, yep, it's definitely sputtering. Oh, man. This is it. Oh, yeah, she's running out. All right, I'm going to pull over. She is definitely running out. That's it, guys. I'm not going to take any chances here. I am going to, I'm going to just fill it up right now. It's definitely sputtering, so we're on fumes. And before it completely sputters, I would like to fill it up. Wow, 82.4 miles. That is crazy. Man, I suppose we could probably get another mile or two out of it, but I am not going to risk it. So there you go. It's still running, idle, so there's still a little bit of gas in there, but it was starting to pull and sputter. So I'm gonna call it. Oh, it's idling a little bit funky now. So we're gonna call it at 82.5 miles. I'm gonna go ahead and use this tank here just to fill it up. This will definitely get us to the gas station. And that should be all I need. But as I said, I'm actually really stoked that we ran out here this close to the gas station. Let's see, did this leak at all? No, it did not. That is beautiful. I'm gonna just put this one in as well. I might as well. All right, let's get up to that gas station and fill her up and then get home. Looks like we gotta go on this side. Alright guys, we're back on the road. We just filled up. We got a full tank. My anxiety just went down to 0 in an instant. And what I'm waiting for now is for the trip meter to flip back to the regular meter so I can get an exact count on what mile we were at. 209.9, there you go. Alright, excellent field test. And now we get to cap off the night with a beautiful sunset there. Look at that. That is just incredible. That's tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. Alright, well in case my battery dies here soon, I just want to say it was a great day, a really successful field test of my fuel mileage, my fuel capacity on the Himalayan. We're going to go ahead and say that 200 miles is a good number to use as a benchmark, but that we essentially got 210 out of our test, and that's with all highway miles, with a couple of city miles in there. And yeah, and then we got to cap it off with a fantastic vista looking over Horseshoe Bend, and now we're getting a sunset to end the day, and a beautiful ride up and over the shoulder of San Francisco peaks with a little dusting of snow up there on the north peaks there you can see. So I can't complain. I think this has been a fantastic day, and I'm just eager to get home now and have a nice warm dinner and sit by the fire. So thank you all of you for following along on this anxiety-filled ride, and I'm glad that it went off without a hitch. So take care, be safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.